Hello boys and girl. So not too long ago, my Norwegian internet pal B. Wesley sent out a message to a group of Trows friends asking, what do you think some of your best runs are? So me, being a narcissist, made an unnecessarily long list of my 10 best runs and posted to the chat. It felt pretty great. For a few weeks I forgot about it, but then I thought about YouTube and how I had all but abandoned my YouTube channel, TM, which had me thinking that could be a pretty easy video to make. All I have to do is compile my runs. But me again, the narcissist, thought, oh, 10 isn't enough. I'm so sick and awesome at this dumb phone game, let's make it 20. So let's do that now. Watch my 20 favorite runs of this fantastic game that I've for some reason decided to stop playing. Enjoy. Now, before I play my 20 runs, here's a terrible run from a couple years ago that will make my current KTM time look at least okay. Look how Cartank pulls away from me with his higher trials IQ and superior skill. But just wait. Once he quits, the casino rooftop throne will be mine to seize. Oh my god, that was terrible. Alright, here we go. Number 20, Casino Rooftop. This is the current world record despite my dumpster fire of a wheelie after the first time saver. I'm convinced that nobody really likes this track though, since my 15.9 Tango run stood at rank 3 iOS for about 6 months after the release of the far superior KTM. Seriously, if anyone wants a world record, this one shouldn't be too hard to take. Number 19, the Trebuchet, or as an unnamed Danish trials player likes to call it, the Tree Bucket. This run was a world record at one point, and to this day is the second best Mantis time in existence. It was also the first run to sub 21 seconds. It's definitely not perfect, but a good time nonetheless. Once we get there, keep an eye out for the slide at the end. I don't know if I've ever hit it that well since making this run. Also, just barely poking my head into the finish line looks super sick. Going over the finish line and not poking my head down has ruined so many runs. Okay, number 18, Madhouse. This run's cool because it put me on a little special island with Cartank. Nobody in the 2 years of the track's existence has taken either the time or the effort to come within a half second of either of us. Admission price to the island is a sub 18 run at Madhouse, but about the run, it's just super clean. I feel like if my ending was faster, this would be a world record. We like it here on our island. Please, sub 18 and come join us. Number 17, Drifter Valley. As someone who loves front wheel bounces, this is one of the coolest time savers in the game. In my opinion, pulling off this time saver with the Mantis is one of the most satisfying things you can do in all of Frontier. My run hasn't held up on the leaderboards as of late, but it's the second fastest Mantis time behind Cartank. The time saver at the start is super sick and hard to pull off with Mantis, but with the release of the second KTM bike, any old pleb can pull off this shortcut. On to number 16, Lumberyard. Does anybody remember back in 2014 when the slope at the beginning of this track was almost too steep to climb? I remember I actually couldn't make it up the slope with my level 3 Riptide and had to progress further in other parts of the game to upgrade my bike so I could finally get past that dumb obstacle. Oh, and the slide I'm about to do? Super sick. Another thing to point out, I have absolutely no idea how to approach that dumb spinning circle thing at the end. Like, is it faster to flip or not to flip? Well, I mean, in the end, I guess it doesn't really matter because I still am rank 2 overall behind my guy Andreas. All I know is that I sure can't wait for the new Tier 3 bike to nuke the Berserker off the face of the planet and make Andreas' run obsolete as well. Okay, on to number 15, Pike Alley. Hey look, another world record that would still stand if it wasn't for the release of a new unbalanced, superior, pay-to-win bike. Whoops, did I say that out loud? I meant to say, I spent so much time making this run, it's a pretty fun track actually. I found that the key was to get a low trajectory over the ramp after the second slide and staying low on the last ramp. Number 14, Treehouses. This run really stood the test of time. It's still the second ranked Mantis run. I really liked how my wheels stuck when I was on the top 2 wooden platforms. The ending was sweet too. Oh my god, that reminds me. One time I played Cartank in a showdown and he did a full slide on that long ramp into the finish line. He's such a beast. Also, his run at this track is unreal. Number 13, Frostmoor. This track's line is so sick. If you just want to style on people, then this is the track for you. Flips and slides are all that matter to me in this world, so it's naturally that this track is so much fun. Also, a couple of things to note. The time in this video isn't my personal best, but I unfortunately wasn't recording when I hit my .7, or 17.703. So in my opinion, Gregory's 17.5 run is the second strongest run in the game behind Kartank's Treehouse's run. Okay, number 12, Crane Yard. This run has never actually been uploaded anywhere, mostly because I got a personal notification I didn't want on the internet, but now I have the skills to edit that out, so now it's zooming back out, I think. Boom. This track was my single longest grind, clocking in at a disgusting 10 hours for the session. Even more disappointing is that I never got the world record, but what does that matter? The number one time here will be irrelevant soon enough with Redlinks' new batch of pay-to-win bikes. Number 11, Woodwork Conclave. This run's pretty average for a world record at one of the hardest tracks in the game. I guess I just didn't mess up a lot. I already have said pretty much everything I have to say about this track since I did a top 10 tutorials video here. Go check it out. Or don't. I don't care. Someone put me out of my misery in sub 16 already. Number 10, Candyland. Before I start getting too positive on you guys, the section after the slide in my run was mediocre at best. But I'm proud of this one. I currently hold the world record with the Bandito, which, while we're on the subject, that bike makes Candyland not fun at all. This track is fun with the KTM though. Hitting the slide near the end is a good feeling for sure. Also, it was a blast to have a big back and forth power struggle for the world record with my guy Andreas. Number 9, Flooded Highway. I don't know, I just feel like I didn't make a lot of mistakes on this one. I like this run. Let's just watch it together in silence. Beautiful. On to the next one. Pumpkin Patch. Oh, number 8, sorry. Pumpkin Patch. Across Android and iOS, this is the number one time with KTM, blah blah. This world record might still stand if it wasn't for the Bandito, blah blah, great line, blah. But hey look, another track with a notification in it. Good thing I'm a pro at editing now. Boom! Sorry, that was probably kind of loud, sorry about that. And out, let's go. Number 7, Toxin Harvest. Okay, so this record is just so sick. There's literally nothing wrong with it. Nothing but slides and perfect landings in this run. Too bad Kartank is Trials Jesus and made sure my near-perfect run didn't even last a week. Despite that, I'll stand by this run being one of my best until, well, maybe someone convinces me otherwise or something, I don't know. Number 6, Three Bridges. I have super mixed feelings about this run. On one hand, it must be super good because Vanna and Gregory and Nessex and B. Wesley haven't managed to beat it in the 2 months that I've held the top ranking. But, to be fair, it doesn't even look like B. Wesley has tried this track with the Bandito yet, so I guess I can't really lump him into that group. On the other hand, I feel like my run sucks. The first slide wasn't optimal and I had a mini stroke going into the finish line. My conclusion on the strength of this run? Just eh. Number 5. Serpent Slough, or Slough, or Slow, I don't know, dude. But, okay, while some people might not think this is like my best run, just look at the second half of it. I'm honestly convinced that the second half of the track was performed flawlessly. Like, sure, you could probably gain some time on the Ghost in the first half, but good luck gaining on me in the second half. It's so clean. Number 4, Processing Center. It might not be obvious, but my first 2 checkpoints of this track are the definition of optimal. I guess you'd have to like play the track and like race against my Ghost, you'd understand. But the 5th checkpoint, also optimal. And then at the 6th checkpoint, shit myself. After managing to regroup, I finished the run in a speedy fashion. If I hadn't messed up so badly at the 6th checkpoint, I'd say this run would literally never have a chance of being beaten. Oh well, it's still pretty good. Number 3, Desert Gondola. I remember the first thing I ever uploaded to the Trials Frontier group on Facebook was a video of me doing the slide flip into wheelie time saver near the beginning of this track. Ever since hitting that, I knew I wanted to hold the world record. Weirdly enough, said time saver kinda sucked in this run. Fortunately for me, I killed the last third of the run, that slide right there, and this flip, oh my god. I couldn't have asked for a better back wheel hook into slide. Yeah, pretty sick run. That being said, I think that sub 20 can happen, and I'd like to see that happen, but there's going to be a new bike and all that. Okay, number 2, high tide heights. Lots of good players really struggled to sub 20 seconds, and I crushed the sub by more than a quarter of a second. I think what made it really good was a lucky back wheel hook that I just got right there. And then my second slide was really good as well. And I also got a little back wheel hook. You see me pulling right there. Yeah, if I had gone for that slide, that third one right there, then that would have been like a perfect run as well. Just kind of like what I was saying about processing center. But yeah, super sick run. I'll be impressed if somebody beats that. And then my number 1, my best run ever, sewage treatment. On my list in the group chat, I switched around high tide heights to be number 1 and sewage treatment to be number 2, but in retrospect, I think I was wrong. Looking back on both runs, my high tide heights time was a bit of a fluke. I didn't put a lot of time into learning the line or just the track itself of high tide heights, and my run is only really strong because of the lucky slides and back wheel hooks. But with sewage treatment, I feel so comfortable driving at a world record pace, and I can do so consistently. I discovered the barrel bounce strategy and held the sewage treatment world record for 6 months while Car Tank was still actively playing the game. Not a lot of people can say that they held world records for long periods of time while he was playing, so I don't know, kind of cool. Anyway, despite my proficiency at this track and confidence in my run, I think there's more work to be done here. I think a high 18.4 is possible with the Berserker, but whatever, I don't know. I'm happy with this run. This track definitely has my heart. It's a good one. Okay, that concludes the video. I'm just going to play some old donkey clips while I sign off. That probably sounds kind of weird for anyone who doesn't play trials. Okay, I hope you liked my commentary. It was fun to talk a little more like I would talk with actual people instead of being an analytical robot like I always was with my top 10 tutorials videos. Oh, and one other thing. At the beginning of the video I mentioned that I'm no longer playing this game, which is true. I may make a video about that in the future, but no promises. I obviously have been kind of sporadic with my YouTube uploading and frequency and all that. Short explanation of why I'm done. The constant release of new bikes ruins the fun for me. I love this game and always will, but the way that the developers have decided to release content has ruined it for me. So if you feel like shooting me a message on Facebook or on Twitter, I'd love to talk to you about it more. I don't know, I'm not trying to complain, it's just my reason for why I don't enjoy or actively grind the game anymore, and I hope people can understand that. Although I'm done, I by no means am trying to discourage others from playing. If you love it, go grind. Like, set some world records with the stupid new bikes just to spite me. Or even take my records, I don't care. I love the game, but I'm not like latching on to these records as my last like claim to fame. I'll never be able to do it again. If I really feel like picking up the game again, I will. But I'm only addressing this because I get a lot of questions for why I don't play, and this is why. So, thanks for watching the video. It was a fun one to make. Everyone on Android sucks, and good night.